Hi, Cail. So throughout this season, you've said a lot about the importance of puck management, and I was just wondering what you thought of your team's performance in that regard throughout today's game.
Obviously, third period, we didn't manage it very well. Gave one up coming out of our zone. That's the ball game right there. So I think that in terms of our offensive puck management, I thought it was pretty good in the O zone through the first two periods. I thought that we created some things up high with our D on the blue line and our high forward, and then we're just bottom line, we're in a tight game, and all of a sudden we have a lapse. And then we pinch down and prior to that, we pinch down and allow a 2-on-1.
Yeah. Well, my follow-up was going to be, were you concerned at sort of the volume of the odd man rushes that were heading your way as the game went on? Do you think your guys were maybe being a bit too aggressive?
I think we weren't taking bodies. That's the bottom line. Like the numbers, if you match up the numbers with a body on a body, you're fine. It's when you go down and you don't take a body and a guy steps around you, all of a sudden a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2 turns into a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2, and it's a whole different ball game. So those mistakes where guys are playing sort of fishing for pucks and not taking bodies, like, can prove so costly against a team like this. When you have the Casillas and Agostinos and Batans on the other side, you're in trouble.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Go ahead, Paige.
Sorry, muted. Sorry about that. The Marlies went 2 for 4 in the power play tonight. What aspects did you feel you guys were falling short on the PK?
It's down to small details. I can't comment on the second power play goal because it looked like a ping pong ball and all of a sudden ended up in front. So I'm not sure how things managed there. But the first one, it's just details in terms of making sure that our habits are good and not letting them move pucks to the front of the net. We got overzealous there by both D. We ended up under the goal line. They passed through us. And then it comes down to the Marlies' top players you give them a little bit too much opportunity and then they put it in the back of the net. So our PK is struggling, and it comes down to just finding a way to do those little things right. We're finding a way, unfortunately, in the last couple of games to do a lot of things well, and then some what you would think are minor details end up really killing us.
For sure. And then with this series finishing up against the Marlies, do you feel like your team has actually developed a little bit of a rivalry with some of these Canadian teams, or is it just kind of the normal type of competitive attitude you're going to have with this type of schedule?
Well, this type of schedule fuels it for sure, but there's definitely a rivalry there, especially starting with the Marlies at home and having those 4 games. So that chunk of games together really, I think, fuels it. But it's good for our team to create that, get some blood and some competitiveness. I wish we would have been more competitive tonight, though. I think we fell into the game that they want to play too much, and as a result, they won out in the end.
Just another question from me. We've all kind of seen that the playoffs are kind of up in the air at the moment. Have you guys heard any potential talk of the possibility of them kind of coming up with some sort of playoff format for you?
Well, sort of like you're saying, Paige, there's banter and possible and different, both south of the border and north of the border, but we haven't heard anything concrete, nothing lately. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Obviously, COVID is an issue with, rising and falling numbers in different areas depending on what's going on. So really don't know. No answer for you.
Thanks, Cal.
Welcome.
Go ahead, Mike.
So at this point, I was just wondering if you had anything to add about when you might have Tyler Parsons available to you.
Going through quarantine now, almost done with quarantine, and then Tyler's been off the ice for a long time, so he's got to go through some steps while we're away and continue them while we're back, so that it will be a little while yet. But he's close to coming out of quarantine and being able to get on the ice, which is a start for him. But that process then after that might take a little while. So I don't have an exact date for you, but him being able to get on the ice in the next couple of days, hopefully will start to give us an indication of how he's going to move along.
Sure. And I was just wondering if at this point you had any indication on when you might have Jan Kuznetsov available to you?
Again, quarantine situation now. So it's going to be a little while with that, with the 14-day. So, we're at 31st of March. So assuming things go according to plan with, working out travel and, visas and all that nature, we're still, even if everything goes real smooth, that would still be a couple weeks.
Okay. And then the last thing that I just have to ask is, Noah King obviously got into the lineup tonight for the first time. And just what did you make of his performance, generally speaking?
Before reviewing the video again, I'd say solid. Credit to Noah, because it's been a long, patient wait for him to be able to get into the lineup. So I think in terms of how he managed the puck, offensively around the blue line, and how he managed it, in general, was pretty solid considering how long it's been since he's played, in a live fire game. There's some areas that I'm sure we're going to see on video just defensively and making reads and stuff, but I'm impressed overall, because I think it's very tough to all of a sudden get in that environment after having been jumping from junior, B, not playing it so long. So solid night for him.
Okay, and actually, I just remember one more little thing that I just wanted to mention regarding Justin Kirkland, who's missed just the last couple games. I was just wondering, is that because of just being nicked up a little bit, or is just rotating other people in?
No, nicked up, and hopefully, we're not sure how long it's going to be, but he does have something going on, and it's going to be a little bit yet. So, someone that we miss in terms of what he brings to the table.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, anything more for Cail? Go ahead, Paige.
Yeah, just one more from me. With the Laval series coming up, what do you guys hope to do differently this time after the series sweep last time?
We just got to make sure we play the type of game where we manage pucks. Back to Mike's point earlier, the Laval is in your face, and they're a team that you have to understand that opportunities to get pucks behind them are important, because they do come at you and they don't give you a lot of space. So we have to make sure we understand that right from the get-go, and make sure our competitiveness. It's a different type of game than when we played tonight. So we have to be mature about that, and you have to understand that going in, and make sure that you're ready for that right off the bat.
Thank you.
Welcome.